One of the things that I am very passionate about is learning how to optimize my health and performance while reducing my reliance on the healthcare system. And to me, that can mean a variety of things. I believe being physician adjacent, meaning I think there's an importance to have physicians and nurse practitioners and nurses and functional medicine practitioners. But I think as individuals, there are a lot of things that we can do to help provoke and prolong longevity in our life. And that really comes in play by just taking an active role in our health. Well, today I want to share with you, we're not quite at the fourth quarter, but we're very close. And I want to encourage you to take a look right now at your own medical plan. And specifically, I'm asking you to take a look at what they call your summary of plan description. That is not something usually, if you have insurance from your employer or you have private insurance, that's not something usually the company will send out to you. Typically, you will have to call into the insurance company directly, and they will give you or email you this summary of plan description, because if you go online, it's going to be an abbreviated version of that information, and they just don't really spell it out to you of what your plan really and truly offers overall. So as we approach the fourth quarter, I want to encourage you to, number one, get this summary plan description, and everyone should be able to access that. Like I said, you would need to call into your insurance company. And what that's going to do is provide you with a summary of your medical benefits. And what you're looking for specifically are what are those line items that are listed under preventive care or routine care. And so those line items usually is something that is not going to cost you any out of pocket. You may, if you have to go to a specialist, have to pay your copay and that type of thing, but it's something that is covered 100% by your insurance. And like I said, usually it's not something that you're going to be charged a copay. Not usually, okay? So what are some of the things that you can be looking at for yourself and for your children as we approach the fourth quarter of the year? One of the things is an eye exam. And I would encourage you not to go to places like LensCraft. I don't even know if they're open. I would encourage you to find an ophthalmologist, okay? Because if there is any disease or treatment that you need, you want someone to be able, number one, to identify it, and number two, to be able to address it, even if you choose to go get a second opinion. So this is for you and for your children. The second thing is I would encourage you to go see an audiologist. So many people are losing their hearing. And what I'm finding is many times arguments are happening because people are missing out on very detailed portions of the conversation. So you're only catching pieces of it, and you're responding either inappropriately to something because you didn't hear it, or you responded to what you think you heard. This causes a lot of confusion. A lot of people lose their fine hearing, and you don't notice it that well, and typically somebody else is going to point it out to you. But a hearing test is something that we all should get. We should all also get our eyes examined. The third recommendation that I'm going to give you is go to the dentist. You should be having at least twice a year at a minimum having preventive care done on your teeth, meaning your cleanings, your x-rays, to make sure that you don't have any cavities, you don't have any periodontal disease and things of that nature. And periodontal disease can lead to heart disease, okay? So having your teeth cleaned, and if you can do more, but I know most insurances, if you have dental insurance, they will cover at least 2 a year, and they consider it preventive care. That's no out of pocket to you. That's 100% covered. This is most, I'm speaking of mine because I don't know all insurances, to be quite honest, but I'm just speaking of mine. But you can pay out of pocket. Having dental cleanings are not expensive at all. They may be a couple of $100, if $100 at the most. And if you want to, if you don't have dental insurance, that's something that you can save up for. I'm pretty sure that you can easily do that if you're really looking at optimizing your health and nutrition. Don't skimp on your teeth. Don't skimp on your oral hygiene. A lot of times people are harboring a lot of bacteria and viruses in their saliva. So that's something that you really need to work on, because your teeth and your smile really is a big presentation piece, okay? So just go have your teeth checked, get them clean. I know some hospitals like dental schools have students who are actually in school, they can do the dental cleaning for you. I don't think it's a minimal cost to that. So just search and look around if you don't actually have dental insurance. The next thing, I don't know what number it is, the next thing is having routine labs done. I would encourage everybody to go get a comprehensive metabolic panel done. At the very least, go have that done. You can have that done through your general practitioner, so that can be recorded through your insurance as a physical exam, and you can start off that way. But go get your labs taken so you would have data to know how you need to live or change your lifestyle. Maybe it's something that you can change with your food. Maybe it's something that you can add in with, it could be sleep. It could just be a mineral that is out of place, and you just need to add some minerals in to be healthier. It doesn't have to be something drastic, but you just want to stay on top of your particular data so you can actually live a very optimized life. The next thing I want to encourage you to do is, I don't typically have physicals, meaning going to a general practitioner and they check your knee and they look in your ear. I typically, when I go to the doctor personally myself, I go to specialists. I believe that every organ system needs to be addressed. And sometimes doctors can overlap in their work, meaning they can take a look at different organ systems, and because they kind of parallel and work together. But I just believe in just going to a specialist for myself specifically. But if you don't have a actual working relationship, or you're not an established patient with a specialist, then I would encourage you to go to have a physical exam done. I know you can go to prompt cares and have that done, and some places have urgent cares, they have primary care centers and things of that nature. You get a primary doctor that can oversee just having a physical. You never know, just have your blood pressure checked and monitored and that type of thing, okay? It's that little bit of aggravation is just worth the peace of mind. The next is women preventative services. So these are things like having your gynecological checkup, so your pap smears, and to maybe ultrasounds for your fibroids. That may not be something that's covered 100% with your insurance. If you do have insurance, then I know, and I should say my particular insurance, that's 100% covered with gynecological care. But I know that there's a lot of clinics and things of that nature that will see a woman to do some preventive care in terms of women's services. And then also, possibly if you have within your insurance plan, this is why it's so important for you to get your summary plan description, is whether or not you may can see a nutritionist. You may need a stress test. There's a lot of things that you can do, and like I said, the goal is for you to take some steps at optimizing your health, focusing on longevity. Okay, so that's my goal, is to focus on longevity. I want to add life to my years, not years to my life, meaning the life that I have and the years that I have remaining, I want to live the best quality life that I possibly can. And I know that my life is in the hand of God, but God gave me this body. And so I have to be responsible for what I'm doing or not doing. And that means that I will take an active role in overseeing my care. I give it all to Him, and He has the final say. But He gives us wisdom and insight. And so at the very least, I can go and have the testing done. I can adjust my nutrition. I can make changes in my lifestyle to live a lifestyle that optimizes and focuses on longevity. So if you want to look at your own personal way of how to lower your health risk, make sure you take a look at the link in the description below.